Let's talk about inequalities and their graph. Suppose I have x is smaller than or equal to 2 versus x is only smaller than 2, so no equal sign. How can I show this like using a graph? Really, we are using number line. So x, three ways of showing this is I can say x is smaller than or equal. So if this is 2 and we have equal sign, I'm using bracket here. This is one way of showing all values to the left of 2. The other way of showing it is to have a filled little hole, and here's 2, and say, okay, all the values to the left of 2. And of course, you can always say that from negative infinity to 2, and 2 is included. So three ways of showing that. Now let's look at x strictly smaller than 2. For x strictly smaller than 2, notice that the 2 is not included, so I'm using a parenthesis. Or I could use an empty hole for 2 and say these are the values to the left of 2. 2 is not included. Or I could say negative infinity to 2, and 2 is not included. Okay, so now that we know how to show the graph representation of an inequality, let's actually solve one. Suppose you have 2x minus 5 is greater than 3. Solving for x plus 5 plus 5. Now I have 2x is greater than 8. Multiply both sides by 1/2. I would get x is greater than 4. So x is strictly greater than 4. I'm going to go ahead and say that, all right, 4, and go all values to the right of 4, because x is greater than 4. Or I could say if 4 is here, all the values to the right of 4. Okay, or I could say from 4 not included, to infinity. Let's try another example. Suppose I have something like 2 times 7x minus 3 smaller than or equal 12x plus 16. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all say 2 times 7x is 14x. 2 times negative 3 is minus 6, smaller than or equal to 12x plus 16. So now I'm going to go ahead and subtract 12x from both sides. And that results in 2x minus 6 smaller than or equal to 16. I'm going to go ahead and add 6 to both sides. So plus 6 plus 6. So 2x is now smaller than or equal to 22. Multiply both sides by 1/2. I get x smaller than or equal to 11. Now this time I do have the equal sign in here. Okay, so I can show this by, so let's say if 11 is in here, all these values, or I could say if 11 is in here, all these values, or I could simply say from negative infinity all the way to 11, and 11 is included. 11 is included. Please remember that when you are using this format always starts from the smaller value, always starts from the smaller value. Okay, let's do another one, just for the sake of variety. Suppose I have 1/3 of x plus 2 smaller than 1/6 of x minus 1. Notice that my least common denominator is 6, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 6. So multiply by 6. So 1/3 x times 6 gives me 2x, plus 2 times 6 is 12, smaller than 1/6 times 6 is just 1, so I have x minus 6. Subtract x from both sides, I get x plus 12 is smaller than negative 6. Subtract 12 from both sides, I get x is smaller than negative 18. So I'm going to put negative 18 here and show all the values to the negative, to the left of negative 18. And negative 18 actually is not included, so I have to be careful with my hole here. So let me, negative 18 is not included. Or just you could say negative 18 and all the values to the left of that. Let's do one last example, something just a tad bit harder. How about when 1/6 smaller than is smaller than 2x minus 13 over 12, smaller than or equal to 2/5. Now, my LCD is 12. Notice that 12 is divisible by 6, 12 is divisible by 12, and 12 is divisible by 3. So I'm going to multiply all three sides by 12, multiply by 12. On the left-hand side, 1/6 times 12 gives me a 2, smaller than the 12 in the middle gets canceled in the denominator. So I have 2x minus 13, smaller than or equal to 2/3 over 12 is 8. You could say 3 to 12 is 4 times. 4 times 2 is 8. Now solving for x, I'm going to add 13 to all three sides. So I get 15, smaller than 2x, smaller than or equal 21. Now, dividing all three sides by 2 result in x smaller than 15/2 or 7.5, and 2x is x is greater than 15/2 or 7.5. X is smaller than or equal to 21/2, which is 10.5, 21/2. So let's do this. Let's say that, how about this? Okay, x, so if I say that this is my 15/2 in here, this is my 21/2, x is greater than 15/2, but x is smaller than or equal to 21/2. Or we could show this as parenthesis here, bracket here, and parentheses at 15/2, bracket is at 21/2. And, or I could say that from 15/2 all the way to 21/2, and 21/2 is included. Okay, that's all I have to tell you for now. Thanks.